Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise to inform the House about telecommunications, an issue that's ever increasing with the reliance on internet and phones in our regional communities, and pivotally, the impending switch off of the 3G network, which is coming with regard to Telstra in June of next year. And I know there's a bit of angst in the community about whether those people that rely almost solely on 3G will be covered by 4G when that's switched off. And I took the opportunity to meet with Michael Patterson, the Regional General Manager, last week to seek his assurance that there would be coverage for those people that need it. And I have to say I emerged from that meeting quite reassured. I think the technical explanations offered to me at that meeting give me a great deal of confidence that those people that are currently experiencing 3G only will have access to a 4G network from June next year, and it should be a wonderful addition to our regional network. I know Michael promised that there would be no one worse off, but my basic understanding of the technical explanation offered gave me hope that there might even be some improvements for some people. So look forward to next year when the 3G is turned off and seeing whether those promises ring true, and here's hoping that it does, and we have an improved phone communication technology in our regional areas. So it was wonderful to meet with Michael. At that meeting we had a quick discussion about some new towers that are planned for our electorate. There's new towers going up at Port Rickaby and at Wall Bay, and I know that those communities will be especially thankful to have those facilities available to them. It's a massive job trying to find complete coverage for our regional areas, but as I said, it's ever increasing in importance, and so much is reliant upon the Internet of Things these days that those towers will be much appreciated, particularly as those 3G gets turned off and the technology for 4G is that much higher. It will be a tremendous addition. Coincidentally, at the same time, there's another tower planned for Edithburgh, and I know that this probably launched off the back of a little community campaign that we launched a little while ago, in that there were people on the front row of the Edithburgh and around the outskirts of Edithburgh that couldn't quite get any phone services at all, whether that was because they were in a dip a bit below the tower or for some other reason there was just no phone service for certain people that lived within Edithburgh. And we pleaded with Telstra to try and improve that, and they've come to the party wonderfully and promised a brand new tower for Edithburgh which should solve all of those problems. Now, unfortunately, after consideration of some 6 spots as the best place for this new tower, they've settled on the existing exchange site where no tower currently exists, and they plan to build a 30-metre tower in the centre of town at that exchange site, which unfortunately hasn't gone over that well with some of the locals. They would like to see it on the outskirts of town or at least a bit away from where the main thoroughfare of town is, and the main street where people walk down and shop and visit the pub and that sort of stuff. So that plan is currently before the council development application process. I know that the Mayor has his hesitations about it, so it'll be interesting to see what position council forms and whether they decide to oppose it. But I really want to take this opportunity to urge Telstra to try and find that balance between the technical outcomes that we need to ensure that those people that have been without service manage to get it, and the community sentiment so that they can continue to be proud of their town, their beautiful town, and not have this perceived monstrosity in the middle of it. So thank you very much to Kylie Harris from Edithburgh, who's been leading the charge in trying to find a better outcome for this situation. But we look forward to working with Telstra to make sure that those people who need service get it, and also the town can remain proud of its main street. Finally, Mr Speaker, I'd like to take this opportunity to urge the state government to resume its input into the funding of phone towers. It would make it a hell of a lot easier for us as local members to argue about the locations that they're most needy if we had some input and some skin in the game. So I urge the government to do that. There's so many communities in my electorate that still need improved phone service. I think of Tickerra, Corny Point, Urania, just to name a few. They would much benefit from a new tower. And with regard to Tickerra especially, it would be wonderful to see Janet Sexton and Chris Knight rewarded for the advocacy that they have shown on behalf of their community, the tireless lobbying of me and other ministers I know to try and get a new phone tower there and improve service for that wonderful growing tourism town there. So there's so many holes in our phone coverage around the state and regional South Australia, and the ever-increasing reliance upon phones and internet, we need to make sure that we're doing all we can to fill those gaps. And I think that if the state government were able to chip in and have some control or input about where those towers would go, it would be all the better.